So now let's talk about the Biden Autopen controversy. This is something that's been talked about for some time. We all know all about it, that Biden was out to lunch and the people around him were just using him like the so-called presidents. Most of these are just puppets. That Obama was behind the scenes running things. It was Obama's third term. And Biden being out to lunch, they were just able to do whatever the hell they wanted to do in the White House. They drafted documents and they would do an auto pen to sign it. It wasn't Biden signing any of this stuff. He wasn't there. He wasn't like mentally there to do anything. Biden, as it turns out, most of the executive orders and most of the legislation that was signed into law, Biden did not sign it. It was auto pen signed by staffers, by people in the White House that thought that they were going to get away with this. Because people, these people, they've been in power for so long. They're used to this. They're used to getting away with things. Well, now it's being investigated. It was investigated by the House Oversight and the Senate. So there's an article that I'm going to link in the description below. I read through most of it. I didn't read through the entire thing, but I read through most of it. I kind of read through it. And I looked at this yesterday also. And it is potentially a constitutional crisis. What do you do with laws, budgets, and executive orders that were put into practice, but were not actually, that are not legitimate, that were not actually signed by the president? Effectively, he really wasn't the president at all. He was, first of all, not to mention he wasn't really elected. He was scammed into that position. He was, what's the word I'm looking for? He was fraudulently put into that position by a bunch of people in places like Fulton County that was stuffing the ballot box, which, by the way, me pointing that out got my YouTube channel, my original one, deleted. So I used to have a bigger YouTube channel with more followers. Well, that's another thing. All this censorship and everything else that came with his administration. So the guy was out to lunch. He wasn't signing any of this stuff. Well, he was signing some of it, but most of it he was not. So what do? It's a constitutional crisis. Do you null and void all this stuff, which is what I think they're going to have to do? It's not officially put into law without his signature. So what do? You're going to have to backtrack all this stuff and literally roll back Obama's third term, in essence, because that's what this is. They found that the majority, and this is Congress. This is Congress. This is the House and the Senate found that the majority of the legislation that was supposedly signed by Biden was actually the auto pen. Most of this was not actually signed by him. So this will be very interesting to see how this will roll out. What's going to happen with that. Now, given that this is retroactive, I don't know what political effects this will have. Obviously, on the institutional level, Obama won't like this one bit. There's a lot of things that they try to get done, a lot of things that they try to do that they can't actually do. They can't advance their nihilistic globalist agenda. They can roll some of that back. What about the Ukraine issue? With all the stuff going on there. Well, that war may not be. In fact, it probably a lot of it is not even legitimate as far as the funding and the orders that were given in association with that. So, now it's on Trump's hands. And, he's rolled back some of that. He's secured the border. He's going after the drug cartels. So what happens? Politically, on the grassroots, probably nothing will happen because most people are not interested in the institutions, the higher level institutions. It's constitutional crisis. We're about to have another crisis with this government not being funded after November 1st. And we'll see how that rolls out too. So this is coming to a head, and good that it is, because it needs to come to a head. Let's go ahead and face this. Let's face this. Let's get it over with. Let's do this. Let's get back on track. Let's return to a society and a government and institutions, both public and private, that is based on reason.